Welcome to online class arranged by Government Haruganga College, Munshiganj. Dear students of BBA Honors Second Year, today's subject is Business Communication, Chapter 4, Major Media of Oral Communication, and this is the 13th part of this chapter. Today we will discuss the topic Types of Company Meeting. And this is Muhammad Sheikh Mustafa Rajib, lecturer in Management, Government Haruganga College, Munshiganj, with you. Types of company meeting. In a joint stock company, meetings can be of two types. In a public limited company, meetings can be of two types, basically two types of meeting in a public limited company. A shareholders meeting and B is directors meeting. Shareholders meeting again can be of three types. There are three types of shareholders meeting. Number one, statutory meeting. What is statutory meeting? Statutory meeting is actually the first meeting of the shareholders of the company. That is the first meeting. The first meeting of the company, that is statutory meeting. This is a special kind of meeting, held only once, only one time in the life of the company. The first meeting is for only one time of the company. According to the Companies Act 1994, statutory meeting must be held within 6 months from the date of commencement of the business. So we have to know what is the date of commencement of the business. What is the date of commencement? Date of commencement is the starting of the production of the business, the starting of the doing of the business. That is the what is the fact, what is the matter of business, what work will be done by the business. So the starting of the doing of the business is the date of the commencement of the business. This is not the registration date of the business. This is not the incorporation date of the business. So this is commencement of the business. The production, starting of production of the business is commencement date. So this statutory meeting should be held within 6 months from the date of commencement of the business, according to the Companies Act 1994. Notice 21 days notice is required for statutory meeting. So prior 21 days prior notice should be given for this statutory meeting. Convened by, who will call the meeting? This type of meeting convened by board of directors. Matter discussed, the mandatory matter that must be discussed is the consideration of statutory meeting. What is the consideration of the statutory meeting will be mandatorily discussed in the meeting. So number two is annual general meeting. That is all the time we can we see to talk about AGM. People talk about AGM. Were actually shareholders of the public limited companies. They talk about AGM. This is a well-known word in the financial markets. This is a compulsory meeting. This is a mandatory, compulsory. This is a must meeting of the shareholders, which required to be held according to the Companies Act 1994, which required to be held according to the Companies Act, according to the Companies Act. This meeting must be held in every calendar year. In every calendar year, that is one time in a calendar year, one time in a year, one time a year. Maximum gap between two annual general meeting. Between two annual general meeting, the gap will not exceed 15 months. That is, the gap between two annual general meeting to AGM should not be more than 15 months. Notice prior notice of 21 clear days. 21 clear days has to be given to the shareholders for holding annual general meeting. For holding AGM, matter discussed, business transacted in annual general meeting are consideration of the annual reports. Consideration of the annual reports of the company. Number B, declaration of dividends. How much dividend will be given to the shareholders that is actually declared in this kind of meeting. That is, what percentage um, um, will be given as dividends, that is decided in this type of meeting. Number C, appointment of directors in place of retiring directors. If any director retires, then a new director will be appointed, and that will be appointed in this type of meeting, AGM. D, appointment of auditors. Auditors as well as auditors will be appointed in this type of meeting, AGM. E, fixing the remuneration of auditors, that is salary of auditors. That is what how much will be given to the auditors will be discussed and will be decided in this type of meeting, AGM, annual general meeting. And if any other special business can be transacted in this type of meeting. Number 3, extraordinary general meeting. Extraordinary general meeting, EGM, for special and urgent matters, when waiting for the next general meeting is not possible. It's not possible to wait for the next general meeting. Then extraordinary general meeting takes place. Matter discussed, business transacted in this type of meeting. A, approval of the borrowing beyond the paid up capital. If there is a requirement of borrowing beyond the paid up capital, when the borrowing will be beyond the paid up capital, approval will be required. And for this urgent issue, extraordinary general meeting could be called. EGM could be called. B, making further issue of share capital. Making further issue of share capital. If further issuance of further issuance of share will be required, then this kind of decision will be taken in this type of meeting, EGM. And B, directors meeting. We have already discussed shareholders meeting, and now we will discuss directors meeting. It is the most frequently held. Several times it's held, the held meeting in the company, as the board of directors is in the charge of the management of the company. The board of directors are responsible for the management of the company, so they will manage the company, board of directors. So several times they have to call for a meeting. All decisions regarding to the routine affairs, daily works, daily decisions are taken in this kind of meeting, directors meeting. Board of directors, all directors will be present there, and they will share their knowledge, and they will take the regular decisions for the company, for the betterment of the company. So number one, time gap, at least once in every 3 or 4 months, such meetings must be held in a calendar year. At least once, at least for one time in every 3 months, or at least one time for every 4 months, such meetings must be held in a calendar year. Number two, quorum. 1/3 of the total member of the board must be present to form a quorum of the board meeting. That is, to make the meeting legal, to make the meeting valid, one third of the board of directors will be present there, should be present there. That is, if the say for example, if there are 12 directors, one third, that is 4 directors should be present to make a quorum, to make the meeting valid. That is quorum required for the board of directors meeting, that is directors meeting. So that's all of types of company meeting. Thanks to all for staying with me, and see you in the next class. Allah Hafiz.